Nice night out here. Just a bit cold, just a little bit. Just wanted to come on here and spread the word and say, the power of prayer is really real. A little bit of backstory. You know, about 2 weeks ago, I wasn't hopeless, but I was kind of in like a stuck predicament, like not knowing like which direction to go about in life, and then I was kind of using techniques to get closer to God, which, in all honesty, is not the right heart posture. It's kind of an idol, honestly, which isn't right. And then I took the practical approach, found situations where I was getting humbled a lot more, and, I wanted to start doing better for other people. And it seems a bit like cringe. Like at first it sounded a bit cringe, but nobody was telling me this, but I just kept getting this feeling to just pray, but then for the longest time, I never knew what the right way to pray was for me specifically. Like anybody can tell you, yeah, just speak to God, but in all honesty, it took me a while to realize the best way to pray is to just close your eyes and just let the Holy Spirit lead your prayer. Surrender in prayer is different for everybody, but it's whatever works best for you, that after you're done, you feel peace, you feel content with whatever happens, and you just gotta know that God has the best plan for you. Jesus Christ has the best plan for you, and I don't know what it was, something just clicked in me that and I was reading in my Bible. Nowhere in the Bible does it mention certain techniques to get closer to God, but prayer is referenced so much in the Bible, and there's science behind prayer too. Prayer rewires your subconscious, it rewires how you think, it rewires your mood, because you're telling yourself these things, you're telling God these things. He wants you to come forward to him, and he wants you to talk to him so he can give you, so he knows you're in the right heart posture. He wants to keep you humble. But I think the real importance of prayer is nobody talks about how important it is during the hard times. Yeah, it's easy and yeah, it's fun when times are good, but when times are hard, that necessarily is when it is most important and most useful. The thing about prayer is there's no rule book, really. It's whatever just works best for you. For somebody else it could be journaling your prayers, or it could just be just sitting and observing. It's whatever feels best, and whatever gets you moving, and whatever helps you feel surrendered and ready to take step in action. But honestly, I will say the best thing for you is to speak it out loud and to put it into the universe, God's universe. Because if you tell yourself certain positive things, certain affirmations, surrendering certain things, it's basically the law of detachment. You've put out what you think is best for you, or you're putting out your circumstance out there, and you're asking the Lord to help you. That is literally the law of detachment. You're literally saying I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know at the end of the day I have you, and I know you're gonna help me and do what's best for me, because I'm weak, I'm a sinner, I need your help, Lord. And we can rely on you, and we can rely on your help. And It also teaches us patience. It teaches us strength. It teaches us courage. It teaches us patience, if I already said that. You know, it's like, and like, it'll segue for you to start bettering better things in your life. Like, I know for me personally, like, prayer helped me get on a dopamine detox again. You know, it helped like restore, like, it kind of restored, like, it's restoring, like, sort of this like rough patch I had with someone who was very close to me, and then I sort of like ruined the relationship we had, but it's restoring, you know, in whatever way, like, and you just pray the best for the other person, and there's no expectations about it. You just go about it, you know, and you know, and it humbles you. Like, I know a lot of us struggle with pride. You know, pride is, I think, one of the deadliest sins, you know, if not pride, lust. But if you just pray to keep yourself humble, like, you'll be put in positions to work hard and better your life, you know. And yeah, I mean, prayer is just a confirmation that, like, God is on your side. He wants to hear you. And, you know, this is a lot easier said than done. But, like, well, not easier said than done. For the longest, like, I was like, how do people pray so much? Like, I can't pray. And it literally took me, like, to, like, very, like, it took something, like, so specific, but, like, it was so obvious. Like, I should have, like, realized it a lot more. Like, essentially, I wasn't, like, closing my eyes when I was praying. Like, I would close my eyes for, like, a minute, like, surrendering things to the Lord, and I'd, like, open my eyes, like, and it's like, well, it's like you're back in the world. You know, it's like, the way I look at it is, like, if you're praying, you're supposed to be out of the world and one with God. And the way somebody told me it was, you know, if you're praying and you have your eyes open, I mean, like, you kind of, like, it feels like you're talking to nobody. But it's like, if you're sitting and you're praying and you have your eyes closed, you know, it's kind of this whole thing of, like, you're imagining that God is listening to you. And it really works. Like, and then because we're humans and we have so many thoughts, we could pray. If it is possible that humans could literally pray for hours, because the Christian monks do it. The ones that live in isolation away from civilization, they literally pray for hours. But because the human mind is always thinking, and because there's always either random unnecessary or positive necessary thoughts in our mind, we can use those thoughts to surrender and to keep praying. You know, if you ever feel like mid-prayer, like, oh, this is pointless, it feels like it's not working, that is the devil, that is the enemy, that is your ego talking you out of that sacred time you have with God. And then once you're, like, in flow state, not really flow state, once you're in that coveted time with God, in your safe space, you know, then you kind of just keep going. You start maybe praying for your loved ones, and you start really focusing maybe less on yourself. I mean, it's good to pray for yourself. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, you want what's best for you, of course, but you might start praying for other things, and it won't be as self-centered. Like, you might start praying for your family or your friends, or you might just start praying that, like, I know it's like I see, like, on social media sometimes there's, like, the joke is, like, it's like when you start praying and then you start praying for, like, the whole world or something like that. And it's like, it's how it works, man. Like, You know, it truly humbles you. And if you have a set time of prayer every day, you know, to revitalize your prayer life, you just have to have that consistent time every day. So for me, how I started was I started praying when I woke up, and I started praying when I go to sleep. So I pray when I wake up, and I pray before I go to sleep, right? If you start your day with prayer and you end your day with prayer, that's your way of saying, God, I surrender this day to you. God, I surrender this next day to you. Or God, I thank you for this day, you know, whatever helps you get going. So yeah, power in prayer. I like these like night walks, you know. I mean, I was thinking about making this video at work, because it's gonna give me like the satisfaction of telling whoever needs to hear about this, you know, like, you know, there truly is power in prayer. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, it really changes lives. Prayer changes lives. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, and even if you don't believe in God, right? You might not believe in God, right? But if you just sit there and say, God, I need you to close your eyes though. I need you to be like, God, I don't know if you're real, but if you are, like, give me something. Like, just start talking to yourself, you know, whatever it is, you know, for my atheists or whoever's watching, you know. So like, if you just, because it's really just positive self-talk at the end of the day. It's whatever gets you going, whatever gets you moving, whatever helps you, you know. Which is why the science behind it is good too. It's like, you know, it gives you confidence, gives you courage, gives you strength, you know, all the stuff I've said. But yeah, point being, power in prayer. Yeah, enough said. Y'all guys stay blessed.